The Tattoo Studio.
Yeah, the Tattoo Studio in Victoria.
Juxtapose Magazine.
Juxtapose Magazine.
The Vancouver Film School.
Vancouver Film School.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's the name of this piece down here?
Evil Children.
Evil Children.
Evil Children. Yeah.
Only while Chris has a cigarette. Only while Chris has a cigarette. Just count.
At Warhol, you know, because he was easy, and then I got to know Rauschenberg and other artists, pop artists of the 60s, and it looked like fun.
Pop art. Yeah.
So I thought, that's for me, looks like fun.
And so you're basically just drawing from the world around you, you know?
Well, yeah.
Day-to-day reality.
No, there's
books
yeah. Yeah, I'm not inventing things. I'm not like a surrealist or a dream depictor.
But you take the day-to-day world and you put it into these situations and these combinations.
Yeah, but it's choice, you know, it's choice is the art. And I try to do things that are intriguing and have a sense of irony and fun and visual interest.
Yeah.
So
you got it. You got it. You do it well. I like your work very much.
Thank you.
Sometimes I wear a black leather jacket.
Yeah.
Which is sort of the art badge. Yeah. It was funny. I went down to Seattle once with a whole bus and a carload of
Is it on right now?
See a little red light?
Richard Spray is my dad.
Is he a famous artist?
No, he's an artist.
But he got you started.
He got me started. He inspired me to draw a pen.
All right. Good.
I would say Picasso.
I'm Picasso. Hey.
Stereotype, you know, Picasso. He's my guy. He influenced me.
Absolutely.
Is that your sound like?
Sometime in 1983, two-dimensional images just, for some reason, didn't mean anything anymore. They just didn't do anything for me. And I started to paint with three-dimensional objects. I use them like a painter as opposed to like a sculpture in my assemblage.
So the collected assemblages became like a palette.
Exactly. In fact, in my studio, I have these huge long tables just piled with stuff, and people have said, oh, those are your painting palettes, and that's exactly what they are.
Right on.
And now, for 10 years, I quit painting, and now I paint and sculpt. You tell him I got it written down at home.
Yeah, well, King can follow me either.
Just being inspired by snowboard and skateboard graphics. And then in grade 9, my art teacher showed us a documentary called Mean Streets, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Or Wild Style or something like that. It was a graffiti documentary in New York, old school. I was really infatuated with the idea of it was free art, it wasn't for sale, and it was just out there. It was for the public and everything else. It also gave me the idea, like, because you could wake up in the morning and there's no artist, there's just artwork, and that's it. It's completely...
But what you're doing isn't graffiti either.
No, that's true. Originally I was doing, I'm more heartfelt and soulful as a graffiti artist, but unfortunately there's rules to graffiti, like you can only use spray paint, and just, I have interest in using other elements and being experimental.
So you want use a lot of other materials and paints and other materials.
Exactly, and you're not really allowed to do that in traditional graffiti, and unfortunately I'm kind of stuck in that too, in respect of that, and in respect of other artists that have inspired me graffiti-wise. So then I put it on a canvas when I think it's suitable. Also, like some of the backgrounds I use and stuff, it's putting wood together to form a background or to form a holster for the artwork itself, and then the holster or the background becoming another extension of the artwork, which is something you can't do on a wall. You can't really add to the wall mechanical pieces or anything.
So I noticed the size of your work. Do you do anything that's any bigger, like bigger canvases or bigger pieces?
It depends on what I can get my hands on. Unfortunately, being broke,
I understand.
I generally get even my spray paint from legal jobs doing murals, or sponsorship from some skateboard companies. Sometimes they'll kick you a bunch of paint and stuff and ask you to put their name up on legal murals that you have on legal walls or illegal walls. So it depends on what I can get my hands on.
So who's your favorite artist? You like the guys in Juxtapose or?
Juxtapose is a very...
it's a good mag, huh?
Yeah, extremely. I like the lowbrow art. It's more experimental. I find it has more sense of... it's almost sense of humor a lot of the time. It's not uptight and corporate.
And freedom.
And freedom, exactly. And freedom. People aren't afraid to be themselves, and it's almost like they're not trying to sell their work. They're trying to just get themselves, which I believe that the artist itself, the real art is the person, and then a canvas is just an extension of the art itself. So they're allowing you for a fleeting moment to enter their mind and enter their skill and see what they're thinking and see what they're able to do.
Right on.
And it's very uncaged. I think favorite artists would vary. A lot of the people that have been shown in Juxtapose, I'm a good friend of Barry McGee, Twist, and Shepard Fairley, poster giant from San Francisco as well.
Oh yeah.
And they've been big influences on me. I painted with them a few times out in shows in Toronto.
So you've been down to San Francisco?
I've actually never been there. They keep bugging me to come out, but I haven't been.
You gotta go.
Do I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like traveling's a big inspiration too. Get out and get to see what other artists are doing. It's like coming to an art show too. It's the same thing. See what other people are up to. Get inspired.
This is a good show.
It is. It's quite good. I like
Thank
the
you, Neil.
variety.
Thank you very much.
Nice
All
to
right.
meet
I've been keeping my eyes open. I keep looking.
Well, I first got inspired in art school. Where should I look? Like at you or at this? And then anyway, I met somebody, John Watling. He's a local painter, but he quit painting and he's gone completely computer.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, he was a total inspiration for me and a mentor for a long time. And he's still a very good friend. We lived together for about 4 years. And I'm so sorry that he gave up painting, but anyway, I still do.
But
And
you
every
still
now,
do, yeah.
yeah, and he still comes to my place sometimes and looks at my work and gives me feedback.
All right.
John Watley.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I did see the Mia Shum show, and I really liked that a lot.
I've heard that's down at the Gallery A on
Yeah,
Homer Street.
yeah. And I really liked how she shared the process and how open she was and how she didn't draw conclusions. And it was joyful, and the speakers using different sound and the fireworks.
And she uses different media. She uses video and...
Yeah, she's usually a filmmaker, and I hadn't seen her movies before, but I was very actually delighted by how she shared from her soul.
Oh, that's really neat. I must go down and see that. It must be on for a little while yet, eh?
Yeah, it's a beautiful show.
So, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yes, it has.
They did that, yeah. I wanted something that was really blendy. Something that,
And you get time to work with it.
yeah, something I could fuss over.
And so who's
I don't like doing everything too fast. I like picking at it for a couple months.
So whose oil paintings did you see that you really liked that got you going? They're sort of realistic. So there's a realist painter that...
I don't even really know. I guess just I wanted it to look real without it looking too real,
Yeah.
but not. I wanted it to sort of pin-uppy, I guess, without it being just a straightforward portrait of somebody.
So do you have any favorite cartoon artists or magazines?
I mean, I like the usual, the usual pin-up stuff, like Algren and George Petty and
Oh, yeah.
all that kind of stuff, the Vargas. As for comics, I don't know,
Well, pop art.
Barbera, cartoony stuff. Yeah, just the same stuff that we all sort of get inspired by.
And do you have any plans to do anything on a larger scale, like
Yeah.
bigger canvases?
Yeah, the one I'm doing right now is really large.
Oh, good.
Can't compare it to anything, but
It's bigger.
it's fun.
Yeah, all right.
You get to be really sweeping with it. It's pretty fun painting. I mean, the bigger the better. So.
Right on. Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And I'm just going to go like this right into the flames.
You artist, you? You artist, you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It grooves.
Government appointee.
Jim Cummings.
Come along, gotta have some fun. Come along, yeah, I'll be the one. I can meet you here in the alleyway. We can make a baby in a billion ways. I said a billion ways. I said a billion ways. And I am my favorite artist.
Okay,
We had about 10 different artists that probably brought in quite a few pieces, right?
That's true, yeah. There's 120 works in the show.
Wow.
So, basically like hanging a huge jigsaw puzzle.
I think you did a really good job.
Yeah, we'll spend a lot of time trying to coordinate colors and pieces so that it had a consistent flow. And you know, certain pieces would overpower other ones, so it's had to be careful about.
It's an art show within an art show.
Definitely.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
The palette of the gallery.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the color of the walls. It's great foil for everything. Makes everything really jump out.
Yeah. And actually, we haven't really had too many problems with color.
That your piece really does jump out for sure. 'Cause the white and the red is nice.
Well, we've both been painting separately for, what, 15 years. We've both been showing for about 10, maybe Nicole a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Smash Gallery kind of brought a lot of the scenes together, and I hadn't met Vicki, but we were in the same show.
Yeah.
And then the Brickyard opened, and Vicki was curating the Brickyard, so that's how I met her.
Right.
It was in the opening show there. And about 6 months later, formed the Pop-Tarts. I've been showing ever since.
I thought it was quite a wonderful opening on Saturday night for this show. I really enjoyed it. I got to talk to a number of people. And
Yeah, it was pretty packed.
it was good.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Well, most of our openings are fun.
Yeah.
You know, they have a really good atmosphere, and everyone's really friendly.
A lot of the artists show up.
myself being a bass player, I would have to say that my favorite musician is James Jamerson, the fellow who played bass on most of the Motown tracks. James Jamerson is my man.
Beck. What's his best album?
Mutations. That's my favorite at the moment.